Hi. Hi. I thought I'll share some stuff with you, but it's also, I can put it out there. I don't know what you've experienced, how much of it you've experienced during the shift, which started, I think it started in October for me, when I kind of warned people it was coming. Hey. So it's been long, like the last one. Last year was the same. It's been long, it's been big, it's been a deep clean. Wow, on so many layers. It's, as like I said, I think the first one, I was sharing with you all along little bits on TikTok. I think the first one was karmic that I saw come up. It was like you're seeing the cash unwinding. So there was clearing of karma again. That this ego, this persona, this mind-body form, it's his own little game. So I saw that go out. Wow. Then I had, as I said, it can manifest. Some of these big clearings have manifested in physical symptoms like physical pain or illness or bleeding or like serious physical problems, because it turns on the left side again. So it depends. It turns out it's related to, in this ego construct, you've got many lives and things. So the body form, it's in the Maya, one of the parallel lives or past lives, whatever. So in this thing, energy. So all the things the ego, this construct, has accumulated energy, didn't let go of, this, that, experiences, traumas, whatever nonsense, delusions, and all kinds of things that you've accumulated. Well, there was so much stuff came out. So they had that. And as I said to people, you'll go really down. You feel like, what I've found, it was like the being was dragged backwards. So you were felt, I suppose you did, you go drop, drop, drop. So you put into the same energy, the same timeline. You've gone back to that timeline, that energy, that density, the emotions. It feels like, what the hell's going on? You feel like, wow, no, I really just, but then you always know it's for your highest good. So you sit. So it was an interesting paradox for this time. Because now you know that it's all nonsense. It doesn't exist. It's all egos. This is a virtual reality. There is no past lives, any of that nonsense. There's only you. That's it. Everything is you. There's no outside. It's all a projection. It's all a delusion. It's all part of the construct. To form this identity, dream, it forms a construct, like many layers, you'll see. So it forms like this belief, this identity, with the whatever, and a body and the whole thing, right? But so it's a funny predicament, because now well, all that doesn't actually exist. The knowing of this, right? And you experience, but you still in the ego, in the Maya, in the body, you're still seeing a perspective as well, of the experience or whatever from this body. So you still experience what the body experiences, and you can still, anyway, in the mind, whatever. So it's been a wow one. I don't know, everyone's different. I don't know how much and which clearing that had to come through individuals. Well, you or me, but different aspects of me. I also know. So it was really interesting, because everybody is an aspect of you. So I clearly saw, okay, whoa, I've dropped some timelines, and there was energies, and I'm whoa, because I could see some of the parallel realities, and people that pulled into my presence were much lower frequencies and vibrations. And I was trying to think, okay, now what? Some of the things were clear to see. Okay, that's there. And like, as I said, there was stuff that I didn't know about. Well, you never know, because I say that the mind, the ego, can make up all kinds of, it's all a dream anyway. It makes up, it's all rubbish. It creates its own story. So basically it's like a dream, like you would in a dream, right? So this mind can create any kind of, all kinds of nonsense. You can just listen to it and watch it, and you'll just hear it. Just like, oh my good Lord. So there was, for this ego construct, hi, I'm good. Thanks, Gemma. Thank you. Good. Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm doing a lot of clearing. As I said, another physical element, popped up. You can manifest these things. So I've been doing a lot of work on that. But it's what I'm saying. This is a very interesting shift, because you change, right? So now you know that there's nothing physical. The knowing in this being is very solid and very secure. You know, and science has proved it. Nothing is physical. So there's an absolute knowing this is not physical. This is a form. It can be changed. It's energy. If that is so in you, you know everything's energy. Nothing is solid. There's no matter. That is sunk in, because I mean, it's science. So like for me, it's like, okay, now you know that, right, at a deep level. So you are also aware even from the ego, you know, this mind construct, ego construct, is aware. So, okay, so you also know that, okay, you can change, if nothing is solid matter, because then you think, oh my gosh, it's going to take a long time to heal, or you see, you're very restricted depending on the knowing and the belief, which a lot of people have learned. Other species and other beings that you've interacted with entities, they're all like you as an entity. It's all a Maya. Other beings, whether you want to call them ETs, whatever you want to have, you know, light beings, however you want to perceive them, you'll know the abilities. A lot of them will tell you they're able to move through walls, change this and that, get the density, because they do know there is no solid, nothing is solid, right? So you're going to see when as this level of consciousness goes through the humanity's Maya game, dream game, this is a game we play. As this goes through, you're going to see humanity jump evolutions like you have not seen. And funnily enough, if you go into the future, go into your future, because you won't see, because everything's, you know, there's many parallels there, up depending on the route you take. So go down. I've seen a world, this world that I can't even explain to you what it looked like. Many angles I've seen. It's unrecognizable. So we're going to take such leaps and bounds. Well, there's no body. That's what I'm saying. So now, if you can get that into your solid and cognize, and as a belief, which science helps, you see, it helps a lot of people. Then you know that there's nothing is solid. Then you're able to, I mean, it's sky's the limit. You can change your form, because if you have realized, depending on your, that nothing is solid, this is a hologram. You are pure in source. You are the creator. You are an extension. This is all one of the creator's energy. So there we are. I am pure energy. I am not solid. I am. Everything you see, everything, all is you. So if you understand everything is the one energy, you can then morph, move into it, change, adapt with it, become part of it. There's no limits. Absolutely, you're limitless. You can change the shape of the body. You can heal instantly. One thing you come to the recognition of is that as within, so without, is clues. Everything's a clue, right? I forgot to put my phone on silent, sorry. I got someone asking me questions. So everything is as within, so without. So look at the body as a clue. The body is made up, or the physical, the form, the human form is no physical. The human form is made up of lots of trillions of cells, trillions of energy, vibrating as cells. So you've got the little balls, right? They all vibrate. And they form one mass. What is the universe? You all heard all that is source, right? Photon experiments have proven that. If you can put one over there, it'll feel exactly, it'll experience the same thing. Every single thing there's no outside anyway, but you know, in this game, that you all there, you are all just aspects. So you are reflecting to me different aspects of my construct. So maybe past, present, future, child, this, that, bad, the worst side, the lowest timeline, the highest timeline, my attachment, the successful, I mean, you know, past, if you want to say parallel lives, everything is you. So this is what it's interesting navigating when you know this, because now you know, okay, well, there's no other. You are all me. Everything is me. It's all an illusion. It's all and I've seen the hologram actually. So there's nothing solid. I mean, so now you go through this, but you still feel, you're aware of this vessel. Okay, so you're aware of any pain, of the thoughts that go on. Oh Lord. So all of a sudden you're sucked into. Now this vessel, as I've explained to you, this ego construct, experienced a huge amount of trauma. And a real karmic line had dropped into, ooh, la la la. There was a lot of karma stuff to be cleared in there. Oh my, wow. And it had been asleep for about 1,000 years or so. It accumulated a lot. A lot. So there was a lot to come out, you know, in its dream. There's a lot to shake out, right? Now you're coming out of, we dropped into the lower thing. Now in the game, in the Maya, you coming out into the out of the ego again. Oh, it's like, yeah. So a lot of stuff was in the physical vessel, and a lot of it was a serious trauma. So it was really interesting. So now all of a sudden, some of this, this vessel ego dropped into that old timeline, which is the timeline that I actually died and came back on. Well, came back. I didn't come back on that timeline, but I died. That timeline, you know, so it was a real, not a good timeline. And the energy of that. So you drop into that again. Ooh. And the energy of that and all that and that experience, that well, so-called perceived, you know, perception of that, really not good energy, people. You don't want to be there. So all of a sudden, yeah, I noticed it was for a bit. I had stuff building up for a bit, the energies that I hadn't worked out. They were in my digestive system, anyway. So there was stuff in there that I'd not been paying attention to. I'd built up a lot of stuff in the lower chakras, the lower half of the body, from the navel down, basically I'd say the root chakra and the other two. Anyway, and I did mention that she'd gone dark. It's strange. I just didn't. Who knows? I suppose I wasn't, you know, paying that much attention, really. Anyway, so a lot had to come out. So next minute, I'm going through all this, and I see, you know, as I say, it looks like it was unwinding of the cash. The karma's being, you know, all these lives are going. It's like moving, right? Because you're obviously going up in the game, the human vessel, this human dream we play. We are moving out of the ego into the oneness again. So as humans rise, and the more you rise, or humans, or whatever forms, rise and rise, the more of this stuff is going to unwind, because in order to embody the true, the energy is going to change. It's going to match, as with, you know, same thing, as above, so below, as within. So as I said, if you want to get an idea of what you are, is look at the body. It's a perfect example. We're so used to, the humans, the mind, the ego, so used to seeing everything. I mean, just look at it. Everything is compartmentalized. Just look at medicine. You specialize in this school. You special in work. You specialize. Everything has been, it's a disaster. They see everything as separate, even the body. Medicine is a disaster. Everything is separate. They don't see the whole system like Earth. Everything is interconnected. Everything is connected. Microbiome, everything is connected. Same with the body. Not one organ can work without the other. They all work together. So there's a clue. So if you realize, all of you, there's only one being. Trillions of these cells make up this, project this human form. So if you sit if you sit enough and meditate and go within and reflect and focus on, you will come. So people spend more time within, and the answers will come. You'll just more and more come. Say you sit there and you'll see, okay. So you treat this vessel as one whole. You can talk to all your cells as one, not as separate. You see, still everything's separate. Then you realize it's a reflection. Like the universe, it even looks like the universe. So go look at some of the things, the neurons and everything. So everything you see, the Milky Way, the lungs, you know, the open spaces. So think of this. This is everything inside is reflected outside. The sky, you know, whatever. It's interesting. So it's all one though. All these trillions of cells make one form. They make up this human form. But it's also only energy anyway. Well, anyway. So here this experience, you dropped into another timeline, a lower timeline, which was really, really bad. Next minute, as I said, left it, you're going down, and you're going through more and more, and you're getting into much lower frequencies, and you went to I see a lot of people, it's going to drag up everything. So what I've experienced, your cash, in this Maya, the ego is a cache, it's so-called past lives, or it's parallel lives that it's experienced, that its habits, patterns, attachments, food, just, you know, anything. I mean, every day, your bad habits, you're sitting around the table, you're not exercising, you're drinking, you're doing this, anything. It's going to point out, because they're not, you know, not from a higher existence or a higher energy as such. So negative thoughts, negative patterns of behavior, negative programs, negative beliefs, fears, eating habits, lazy, whatever. I mean, everything pretty much is, you eventually go through it. So, and when you have this, all of a sudden you hit, as people know, so when you sit and energy comes up and you find yourself, oh my gosh, what's there? So the normal things, you know, if you understand, you see, you all of a sudden get triggered, or you start crying for diddly squat, and then you see that that energy, and you tap into okay, the energy is sad, the energy is whatever. It's part of the, you know, this thing. Okay, thank you for the message. It's trying to show you. So you thank it, I will deal with it. And it's now just brought your attention, there's an issue here with whatever it is, say death, or suicide, or grief, or loss, or who knows what, you know, so many things. So then you sit in meditation, okay, whoopsie, and I need to release that. All right. But now when you hit serious trauma, that if that energy comes up, well, that's it, you're gone. So here you are, boom, disassociated, and having a panic attack. You know what I mean? You're not. So it's. Wow, this is what I say. This is what professions stuck with you. See, because everything's compartmentalized. You don't deal with everything. It's the energy that needs to move through. The normal energy, if you sit and try and, if you can calm, if you can bring the body, you know, it helps. So I contacted, I was going through fun, and I was really battling physically as well. So I contacted Michelle, who's in New Zealand. She's so sweet. She's such a sweetie pie. And I spoke to her, and as we started talking, of course, you start, so we don't want to go in the story. Yes, yeah. Well, we don't want to go into that story. So it was like, okay, and she has the capability to see where the energy is stuck in the body, and the, you know, what it's about. So without going, so she was like, okay, now relax, calm down, breathe, and just to get this thing back into the body, because it was going, it wasn't there. It was like, no. So okay, get back into left the body again. Now let's calm. So breathe and relax and try and focus. Right. So forget the story, just focus on that, which was great. So it helped talk through it. Focus on that. What is that? What comes up for you? So it's grief, it's rage, it's whatever. Feel that energy. Okay, there we are. Now get it out. What didn't you get out? What do you want to release? So it was like a therapy in a way, kind of thing. It was trying to get that. Wow, there's so much there. Wow. Ooh. So it's much, and this is how it is dealt with. It comes out in bits. There's obviously not too much at once, because you'll just, you know, that's it. It's pointless. Then you're not going to be able to. You're going to just, your ego is going to go no, and it'll just not go there. You see. So you got to, when you're ready, as it's ready, it'll coax little bits of out. So here's the ego disassociated, doink, out the body, gone, not interested, you know, it's like, and it's just, and the whole, you know, state, if you'll see, if you look at, not this last video I uploaded on YouTube, the one before, you already see there, I was, not in the presence of awareness, completely in the ego, completely in the mind, and you're absolutely there. But anyway, there was so much to do it. After about, and she had, I mean, this was a favor she's doing to me, and she had an appointment coming up with an hour. So we worked through, I think, here and there, and things came up that I kind of suspected, but I didn't have a clue. I kind of suspected things weren't great, because one of my family members had started getting flashbacks, and I was like, oh. But because you had this construct, this ego had so much shit already. And as I say, dealing with that, it wasn't in the state you're in. You're not willing to take anymore. Like, no, I don't want to know. I can't, you know, there's no more. Don't try and put any more on, because it's just overload. It couldn't take any more, like, trauma. It was like, no, I don't want to know. So it was a complete, no ways. I don't want to, you know, no, here, see that. That's just too much for the ego and for the to deal with at the moment. So anyway, we get into this, and then she picks up that she's okay, where you know? So a 4-year-old and a 7-year-old popped up, and it was like, luckily, as I say, that's how it's dealt with. So if you're not ready to deal with it, it was completely blacked out what the experience was, but the energy was clear and whose energy it was, and it, kind of things were not kosher. So there was like, oh, anyway, but yeah, she had to go, and there was still huge amounts. This whole area was just absolutely, when she finished, I mean, all I could see from there was just like you were sitting in mud. This was just gone, darkness. So then, luckily, anyway, she was doing something with Jill. Now, Jill does regressions, and I was going to ask. I thought that's the best avenue to do is speak to Jill, which I explained in my last video. You'll see, I told you what happened. So Jill, she told Jill as well, and then when Jill finished with her, Jill phoned me and did a regression. Thank goodness. So we did quite a bit there. Jill helped quite a bit with this body mind to release a lot. It took back stuff. Also, was like okay. And then moved energy out just to, it was amazing to jump timelines and restore. As I explained in my previous video, it was very good. So that helped a lot. And then every day, because what I've been doing is meditating twice a day, every day anyway, to get back and sitting. But after that, that work with Jill, it was amazing because it literally opened up. It was like that darkness moved, shifted. My aura was completely back. I had this beautiful, bright, shiny aura. Because she had worked on timelines sort of thing. I had this bright, shiny aura, and I was connected. It was like bing. It was like the lights were on. It's like all of a sudden I could see clearly. Like my third eye was on again, my crown chakra, because it was all completely. So all of a sudden I could see the angels. I could see everything again. Bing, and I'm like back on, and I felt so much better. Oh my gosh! So, I mean, those two ladies, I couldn't thank them enough. Such wonderful people, just reaching out because we're all the same, and like, hey, listen, you do a lot, so we'll help you. So free, absolutely for free. I mean, that's so kind. So I mean, so she gave me an hour of her time for no charge, and Jill, it's absolutely beautiful people. Wow, so beautiful. And it was like, wow, and then I sat in meditation, and exactly, because if anyone watches my videos, is to get back into that, absolutely silence the mind again. Clear mind, which the Buddhas say. Clear mind, clear, embodying source. So not just tapping in, whatever else, but absolutely embodying. Which means you're sitting there and you dissolve. You want the ego needs to be completely dissolved, and you've got to transcend the mind completely. It's discipline work, and the ego, let me tell you, will throw the toys out the cart when you get close, and does it. So I sat, and I've been doing much, and I'm just sitting there. Right, burn this thing, gone. I mean, I'm up to here with this thing. I'm like, nah, not doing it anymore. I mean, what egos have done the damage. I mean, then whoo. So it was like completely purifying this vessel. Completely mind blowing. So yeah, that was my absolute intention. So I diligently sat there, I don't know for how long now, twice a day, every day, and just sit there while the light dissolves and burns away with intention, and transcending the mind, let the energy work, and clean, clear, dissolve, clean, clear. Get this is to reach whatever you want to call, Buddhahood, I suppose, but in the body. Stay in that state, stay stable in that state, put it that way. Anyway, so I sat, this vessel, this ego construct has been, not me, has been sitting, meditating, and then working on this, because I've had physical problems, real physical. There were physical issues with the stomach, completely in the digestive for a couple of months now. And it was not small things. So, you wake up every night in pain and anyway. So I sat there and I've been working, and I pulled, this ego, the construct we've got, the ego, the soul thing. Worked with that, pulled in energy. It's amazing, actually, people. You must see when you go into your body and your cellular level, or you start cleaning up, you can go, it's amazing what you can see inside. You don't need a scanner or any kind of thing if you get into it. You can do it yourself. It's amazing what you're able, which they can't see, which a doctor doesn't know, this energy, where the problem is, and when you move the difference it makes. Wow. So every day to fix this, restore balance, harmony to this form, energy form, right? which was out of whack. And there was suffering because of it. And this happened with this whole shift. Also, you realize something. There were things there. Jill moved out. There was an entity that I took on then, because you believed that. I had that. There was energy, as I say, from this whole thing that went back to childhood. I didn't realize that was there. Wow, all kinds of stuff. Yeah, wow. You held in the stomach and the intestines. And if I think about it, I had, this vessel, this physical vessel, had issues with its digestive system all its life, actually. There we are. So the energy was there from day one. Or it manifested always as ailments, as colon spasms and this colon, whatever, stomach, whatever. It was always, doing that. It was so interesting. So I sat all this and pulled in energy through the thing and then absolutely pushing it out. So it's been quite a few actually, but really clearing. It's been amazing. We're doing some real clearing in the vessel. So the lights moved right through the vessel and moved out this energy. It's all come out in many ways. I've taken, energy's been taken out of the intestines, out of the thing. It's this one's energy, this. It's like a garbage can has come out. The amount of clearing it. And it's been a couple of days sitting there moving through. Okay, what's that? All right, take it out. So it's been working through the body. It's amazing what came out of the brain. Phew. So the brain was worked on today. Wow. And the eyes. So yeah, it's been going through organs and vessels and cleaning and clearing, and it's amazing. We're talking to, because the energy is conscious. You're part of source, really. So if you look at your atoms or your cellular structure, it is that hollow in the middle is consciousness. That's what you actually are. That's that's it. Source energy. So you can talking to your cells like they are human, they are other beings, because they are conscious. But as one, same thing, because it's us, them is nonsense. No, one. We. So even if the smallest cell is unhappy, no, it's not good. This is now you see, get the idea of unity, same with the body, all. Even the smallest cell, you want it's all part, it's all you, it's all one. So the smallest cell must be loved and nourished, the healing light. So it's been putting light into cells, fixing the the light's gone through, doing some incredible work on the vessel. Wow. I've actually got doctor's appointments and tests coming up, but I don't think it's going to show much anymore. I think it's going to be a bit too late because they're probably going to be wonderful. Actually, you know what? In a way, it would have been if you had gone there first and then had all these tests and they come up with all these, whatever horrible diagnosis, and then you go back a week later and say, look, and they'll be like, huh? but. So there's a massive amount of work being done on the vessel. Wow, and what has come out is just, but it's related if you understand that. It's related because of the ego and its Maya and its dream, whatever kind of nonsense and all its parallel lives and the whole soul structure, this deluge, the Maya that we play. So yeah, it had so a lot has just been coming out and coming out and coming out and here and there, and it was so interesting. So a huge amount of work, and then sitting twice a day and just sitting and allowing this energy to move through and purify and cleanse the vessel. So because of the intention to absolutely sacrifice, like you saw Jesus on the cross, what does that symbolize? The crucifixion of the ego. Absolute surrender and offering the ego up to be absolutely dissolved. That's it. You're happy to give away it completely. So it was so interesting. I sat there, the one in the one meditation, and I saw that a cross was put on my forehead. So I had a cross on my forehead, which symbolized the crucifixion of the ego. And I was like, in your meditation, in your third eye, what you see is this being sitting there and light. You in this massive stream of light like this. Your arms are floating up. You're caught in the stream of light. And you've got this cross on your forehead, and the ego is being, dissolved in the light, basically. And then, what was the other one I saw? Okay, that. got this cross thing a few times on the forehead sort of thing, and then the ego, you're on the cross, the ego being completely, so you've absolutely surrendered and dissolved, crucified, whatever. That was interesting. What else? Many things. I'm trying to remember. There's been so many things. But the clearing that's been going on the physical, on the cellular level, it's interesting because if you're dealing with the cells as one, there's only source. So it's not that the program that you or the ego has been telling the body or anything. The body has a complete wrong program. The cells know that they are absolutely divine. You are. That energy is of the creator that created the entire universe. All of that's all it is, only you, right? So it's incredible. It is limitless. So if your cellular structure and all these cells know that what they are capable of what they are, that it's only energy that you are, and you can. Depends on you. Depends on the ego. The ego wants to play, because that's the ego will have a desire to go and try and do whatever. But yeah, pretty much stuff that's come out. Wow. And then what I've seen is layers, which is interesting. As the ego is being dissolved, it's like you see. How can I describe it? If you've seen your ego version, the soul version of you, right, out of a body, or seen vessel out of a body, they retain a kind of an energy form, like people want to call light beings, right? There we are. So what I've seen come through, being pulled out, about 3 of them have come out. It's like whoops. So maybe, as I say, they're layers, or personas, ego identities, whatever, layers of this nonsense. They're dissolving. So I've seen 3 of them come out. Bunk, bunk, bunk. I'm like, yay! And you're sitting there, and you just, it's sitting and allowing, absolutely, it's sitting and allowing the light to purify, cleanse, purge, remove, whatever Yes. So the shift is something else. Anyway, so the reason why this ego hasn't been on much is because I've been waking up because of this, this massive clearing and energy that had to move out, and it was I've had such pain. The whole digestive system was actually almost like this. It wasn't working. The stomach wasn't digesting food. It was below, you name it. It was like, wow. And waking up every night in pain and numbness. I got to go, anyway, all kinds of issues going on. The physical vessel. This is stuck here for a long time. That was manifested, but say lots of energy, and it goes up and down depending, you see, where you are in your energy. It got a bit bigger, it almost shrunk, and then it got bigger. But that was interesting, because that went right back to childhood. I didn't know. So this is, I say, that's what I'm saying. But people don't understand, everything is part of the ego construct. All these beliefs and lives and suffering and nonsense, it's nothing to do with you. It's not you. If you could see it, I would describe it as a mask. You're hiding from yourself. So what you do is put on a mask, and you pretend you're not you. So you are source, and you are masked yourself. So you can't say otherwise, your dream wouldn't be real. Like in your dream, it's very real, right? Very real. When you're dreaming, it's like, well, and then you wait, okay, this is exactly what this is. The dream is a clue for us. The dream version has been a clue. This is exactly what reality is. So this, and all the stories and drama and upset and all that nonsense comes with a so-called body structure. It's a projection, it's a dream. So it's stay quiet, and just like as Joe Dispenza says, right? You got to program the conscious mind, the beliefs, because that's what changes everything, the belief. You got to program the belief. So people are busy programming the belief for abundance and all kinds of things that to have to please the ego. What about dissolving the ego? What about Getting into the conscious mind, first of all, that you're not physical, because that'll make a big difference on your health. That nothing is solid. You are pure energy. So you are just form. So that changes what you can do, how you can move, shape, heal, change, grow a tooth, whatever you bloody want to do, because you get so. In fact, also, the real you, this is all of it's a Maya, absolute illusion, all Maya, so drop the veil, drop the Maya completely, dissolve that ego, remove that, which is the veil of the ego and the mind. It's on all its stories in my past life, and oh my God, wow, that and this and that and and it's poof. So this is what this body mind has been construct has been doing. Got to the point where it got there before. So many people on this path will achieve, depending on where they are and what they want. So when you do your awakening part, a lot, I presume most people get through the stage where they actually get that. You get it for a while. I don't know how long it lasts. I can't remember. When you initially wake up. And you feel you are in bliss. You can see the people walk around. You are just like, you are in bliss. You're in that stream, in that energy, it's to remind you who you are. So you touch yourself, that true self, for a while. You are just, wow. You're in the flow. You're out of the mind. For a while. But it was practice. Literally, I did a lot of work. So so this body really and the mind practiced quietening the mind. So for a while, I didn't have the mind at all. I transcended the mind. Yes, people think that it vanishes. You have no thought aspects. Yes, it's used as a filter. So what you are is completely connected to the stream and to source, real intelligence, real all knowledge, all wisdom. And this, as it was designed, is only meant to be a filter. You see, it filters source. It just filters everything. That's all. But it's not meant to be, think it took over the operating system and thought it was doing and trying and thinking and planning and everything. That was all. That's why it's called the Maya. So that's what this ego, this construct has been very busy with. That's why I haven't been on much. Been sitting quietly every day, meditating twice a day, and take this thing, get rid of this thing. I got to the point where that's it. Because if you've touched that before, your true self, and you've seen it, but you didn't have all the knowledge, you hadn't worked to see it, and you've got to purify the vessel. Because remember, like you experience now, most of you that are awakening path, it's a match, right? Anyone comes into your life, everything in your experience is actually there to show you something. So if you understand that, you pay attention, when you're in that connected state, you will anyway, because your mind's quiet, and you'll be like, and then you will see, because you'll be sitting and listening, you'll be watching it. What you do is when you're in the observer, the mind is not in the mind, you're sitting there and you're aware, then you are. And then that people or anything comes into your experience, you're like, aha, there we are. Thank you. You can see, that's what it is. There we are. Bingo. You will see the lesson. You'll see the mirror. You will see the reflection. It's like, so the lessons are just bang, bang, bang. So easy because you can see it so clearly. But when you step out of the Maya and the ego completely, there's none of that. You transcend that. That's why people walk around like it looks like you're on a drug. You're on a happy pill. You can't imagine. So if you've experienced that, you want to get back there. You'll understand you don't want to play this, because then you're like, exactly, because that's why they say it's the suffering, because you're up and down. You're going to have that. The real thing is transcendence, absolute transcendence. That's the real, So that's what this body mind was like, right, I've had enough of this nonsense. So it put, interesting, so this probably was on purpose. So it put this ego, this being, back on that path. It was like, smack on, right, get this thing, God, now I've had it with its suffering and its stories and its drama and its pain and its nonsense and the damage. If you have the overview and understand the damage in that state of being, if you look at just take for ancient other people, say this experience, what you think is your life, other lives you've had, other people, I mean, the world, you just ring, whoa, and you realize, then you can take a step back and realize, okay, in the old consciousness, look at the life that you had, you think you had in this old consciousness, that you believed was your life, and then compare it when you've arisen in consciousness and you're like, jeez, wow, everything is backwards. And like, and you're like, what's it? Well, but don't, because that's the level of consciousness you're at. But then you can understand why the world or the planet or the earth game looks and got like it was. You see? So you understand how important it is. And if you want to really help anybody, because all of you are me, there is no other. So I want to help me, which is me, you, everything. The best I could do for me all is to obtain the liberation, real liberation. Why? Because then you are at one energy-wise frequency with all creation. So that harmonizes the field. So that in that frequency, that shock will go through the field. So by doing that, you will massively assist the earth game, the planet, every you, all aspects, other me, all into one anyway. But then you have mine, you see. What does humanity need more than anything else? I think some exactly oneness, that harmony, that field, that So it would be the best thing for all, which is the one anyway, is to do that, like take it seriously and really go for your Buddhahood. Really sit there and be serious about it, and so get that ego. So get all the samsara cleared, so that can be a pure vessel. Because if it has to be clean and pure to reflect, source has no nonsense, nothing. There's no nonsense. That's why when you transcend this ego and you drop it, it's like you rise up. It's like you hit another layer. It's even difficult to explain if you haven't been there. It's like you literally transcend, you move into another layer, or like another dimension. And it's just, you can see that it's rubbish. It's hard to say, yeah. But everything, you're then harmonizing with everything that's in existence. So think of it like the body. Every single cell, if it comes into harmony as one, instead of working separately, you get that bang, so as within, so without. So if you do that, like they do, that is a complete clearing of the vessel, purifying and removing any of samsara, it's nonsense, dissolving it completely in the mind. And then that pure source light energy can manifest through you, because there is no, Anyway. So that's the conclusion I came to. Or this ego thing, not I. But that's why also you tend to be quiet, because otherwise it gets, you don't want to, you are now you're busy dissolving the thing. You don't want it to get any bigger and grow. So you don't want to give it food. So the more energy you put outside yourself, you believe there's an outside, right? If you put any energy and focus on the outside, like outside yourself, watching things, participating in the world, this Maya, that's it. The more, whatever you feed. So, you're not, so it takes really, like they do, while they disappear into a cave for 2 years, you see. It takes going within, quietening out, pushing out that out, to solidify that. So it doesn't help doing this while you're trying to dissolve the ego. At the same time, you're growing it by feeding it, you see, because you've got one foot in, you're playing in the Maya, but you're not. You're playing in the Maya, but you're not. Or feeding it. So I have been quiet for that reason. And as I say, I've been working on this, which has been really, wow, seriously, woo. Well, yeah. Anyway. So I got to go to the doctors to do some tests. It doesn't bother me anyway, as I say. It doesn't, because you're not this mind body anyway, you know what I mean? And when it's time in your Maya, whatever you've got to play with, you're going. That's it. You've been there, and you've already done it on another timeline, so it's not like it's a new thing. And also, you're not worried. because you understand this is pure energy. It's not solid, and it's one, and it's intelligent, and it's you. It's just you. All this energy is one. So it is, so I say, limitless if you work on that. And so take your attention from all the outside and drama and nonsense and news and rubbish, and which is the Maya. It's absolute rubbish. It's an absolute distraction, actually. But that's a whole idea. Because what do you want the most? Transcendence, or keep the ego going, or play and stay in the Maya? Most people don't understand, so they play in the Maya thinking this is, you know, there we are. So there we are, people. Yes, a lot of clearing's been going on, Mila. Lots, still plenty more. Oh, plenty more to go. But yeah, I mean, like last night, I woke up, as I say, there's been some serious issues physically. It's no physical, but anyway, in the Maya, this body, serious, it had some physical, woo. So it's been, so also, you know, you tend to be tired then because you're getting woken up at 4 o'clock with pain, so you're going back to sleep late. So yeah, you know, haven't really been on, but a lot's been worked on. Wow, amazing what's come through. It's so much better. Wow. And then yeah, there's some issues going on there. It's all on the left side too. Interesting. So when I was sitting in meditation, what came out was very interesting. But this body, we were playing ego for a bit, doing some clearing. I just sat, so I don't know, I just sat, and for some reason, as I say, they decided to do to do like physical clearing of the actual cells, the cellular structure. So there was some serious interesting clearing going on there. You're just sitting, and it's just, you know, you're not directing it as such, you're sitting there and the energy is going through and it's clearing. Maybe because intent was. And wow, was it clear. There was like dead in the brain. They were, because if you watch my other videos, you'll know that I had a problem. So it was like, wow, must have been toxins and whatever else, but there was a lot of darkness. It was clearing up in the brain. That was fascinating to watch. So it was doing a lot of clearing in the brain. There was like real dark patches in the brain, and then between where the two brains almost join. If you look at the brain itself, in the middle there, wow, there was some stuff to get cleared, and then you could actually see it was like where they obviously damaged, dead neurons like cellular or tissue was, you know, moved. So there was dead neurons or tissue in the brain. It was amazing watching all this stuff. And then coming down the throat, I didn't get that far today. I saw the energy come to about here. The bottom of the lungs were cleaned out today. You're sitting, you just sit. When you allow, you absolutely surrender. But not further down, you know, from the, I've done some, but not completely. Different, it's different. This is the different. That was moving things out, like what the energy was. I saw that today. But the light, it was like light came through, and it worked its way through. The cells were dissolving, like behind the eyes, like, wow, so whatever, you know. And as it's going through, you knowing what the damage and what the energy was related to. So the story, so as you're seeing this light coming, and then it's cleaning up the so-called physical, you know, damage, whatever, right? But behind it has a story that this ego had, you know, and whatever. Oh, that's what I say. People don't realize the suffering, as I say, will continue until you absolutely exit the ego, because it's attached to this, it's attached to people, a boyfriend, a car, a house, its story, it's upset, it's trauma, it's problems, it's belief, it's you name it, everything. You know. It's identity. So there we are. Any questions I can help anybody with, please let me know. I know, it's amazing. If you just sit and allow it to be dissolved. but it's got resistance. And so especially when it comes to even trauma, because that was interesting, because there was a lot of resistance. Luckily, Michelle had done an hour already on me, and it calmed this vessel down and the mind down. So, and I wasn't expecting Jill to do a regression that night. So when Jill started, it was calming me. I didn't realize it was going, going to go do a full regression. But there was resistance to the ego to face that stuff and the fear. It was like, we didn't go, it was not going into any story, or we didn't see it, we didn't attempt to try and clear any of the actual story behind the trauma. It was, who knows, it's all just taking energy out. Entities which went back to childhood, actually. In the stomach and intestine. It's fascinating anyway. So yeah, I definitely felt it, and you can see it's like no, and you could feel the resistance. So it was really not difficult to focus, but difficult to stay in that state of being connected out of the mind, doing that, because the ego was like no. It was there was a lot of resistance to like going there. It was like as I say, yeah. But people that that have dealt with it or deal with it, or any both sides of the fence when it comes to post-traumatic stress or trauma, like, so, will know what I'm talking about. It's like you, well. So it's interesting, because knowing this is where the conundrum came, where that's why I contacted them. It had to be vulnerable. There was no choice about being vulnerable and asking for help, because this ego would never ask for help. It's like, no, it doesn't, it just doesn't do that. It was like, no, it doesn't, asking for help is like, so it was forced to ask for help. It was interesting, because knowing what you know, so you sit there, but if you're not solidified in that state, it doesn't help knowing, no, it's rubbish, it's just the ego. You know the story and the suffering and all the drama is not real. The real you is untouched. But when you're sitting in that energy, so I tried, that was the first aspect. It was a lot of, I thought, okay, because it dragged me down there, and I was trying to, and it just was like, wow, going backwards, and I just thought, no ways, you don't want to go backwards. So I was like, bugger that. I'm not getting dragged into it. Shit, it's past. It's past. Like, piss off and leave your stuff in the past. So I stayed trying to stay out of it. It was like, no, I'm not the ego. No, you're not the ego. But it wouldn't clear. So what I came to the eventual conclusion was, this is not going to go. So it's obviously for a reason, because I've asked anyway for the ego to be dissolved, or this being had the vessel, right? So it's obviously now needs to be moved out. The energy needs to be moved out. So more of the source can stream. You see, because it's not matching frequencies for one. And maybe I wasn't solidified enough, who knows, but there was no ways I could bypass it, because I tried that, because I'd done it before. It was like, nope. So I just thought, okay, look, this is, I'm just... So I reached out and asked the two of them, and they were fantastic. Both of them helped me the same evening. Boom! Such lovely people. Wow, they really are. It's amazing. I love it, because all people, once you start transcending it, you have more of a heart. You get into that wanting to help, love, care, community, unity. That unity consciousness starts coming in. So you feel one. You want to help each other. You want to help other people. This is what I say. It's such a wonderful transition, but it's slow. It's slow. Yeah. Absolutely. So anybody got any questions? Are you sitting, I don't know, because some people are still very much in this clearing, which I did warn people it's going to be, ooh, man, I tell you. And who knows? I mean, just sit there, maybe more. The amount of stuff that they don't give you too much at once, because it would be too much to handle. So if I look back, I mean, this has been going on now since 2019. And you do it, and then clearing a little bit there, a little bit, and then clearing. So stuff has been moving and dissolving. I did a lot in the beginning, wow, a lot. And I transcended it for a bit. But then, doof, you drops back in, because of all the shit that was held in the vessel. Wow, then the stuff started. So yeah, it has been. So then I'm aware, well, wow, there's still a lot, because I've done, you know what's interesting? You think you've dealt with a situation or a trauma, but it seems to pop up again. It's a little bit, it's like it's done in sections for some nonsense. So if you think about it, it's different energies you held on to, because we didn't understand you're not supposed to hold on to anything. They're not yours, the thoughts, the emotions. So, you know, fear, and you try and you grab on, whatever. The amount of stuff is just, oof. So, I suppose, see, you know, it's not that I consciously, willingly have been trying very, very hard and doing a lot of work to get rid of it, whatever's come up. But I also know that this lifetime alone, in this being, this ego's identity, this game it's played in this right stream, it's had a, I mean, I've forgotten actually about the shit it's been through. It's had an immense amount of shit and trauma, and wow, it's unbelievable actually. So who knows? I don't know. Can't tell you how long it'll take. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? I'm not worried anyway. As I say, I'm sitting. You're just an observer. You know you're not the ego, the body. But whatever the process, you just allow it. So it's still busy cleaning out the vessel. So you can be a pure filter. Maybe. Maybe that's what, I don't know, you know. So the intention and the asking, the thing is happening, and that's what you said, to dissolve, to transcend the mind completely and dissolve that, which is, if you want to call Samadhi, freedom in light, freedom while still alive, you know what I mean? Whatever, not alive, you just move into, you wake up really. You move your attention from this stream to another stream. Start streaming another life or another story. The only thing is, which is interesting, because in the old teachings they taught us, if you get Samadhi, enlightenment, freedom, whatever they call it, mukta something, while you're alive, right? That's it. You don't have to reincarnate again. Now, from what I have asked and experienced, and from sources, you know, from that aspect of it, is yes, because think about you, right? As long as you keep going, you're going to keep dreaming. Now, if you're eternal, and that's what I saw and experienced, you are all that is. You are only pure awareness. There's nothing else, and all of existence, time, whatever, you do. It's thoughts or dreaming. It's just so. What else would you do? I mean, that's what I experienced, and how it was conveyed to me is like, here you are as a thought. There's no physical form, but you are absolutely alone. There's nothing but you. So you created all of this. You'd be bored, lonely. So you play this because you know it's not you, it's a dream. So exactly, are you going to stop dreaming now because you know it's not real, it's not going to harm you? So you're not going to stop dreaming. You see? So the same. So I don't know about the fact that you will never carnate again story. And you might, you know, for a while play guide or angel, or, you know, shift the dimension, or you know, you can move to other dimensions or other playing fields or other, which you do anyway. This is what I'm saying. Some of the stuff wasn't known maybe back then. You know, now there's no past lives and future. There's only parallel. So all of these are existing now anyway. There's only now, the now moment. The now moment never ends. So it doesn't make sense to me that if you get Samadhi now in the physical form, that you will never carnate again and you're going to stay as source. Yes, you always stay as source. As you are that. You can't change what you are. But I don't know if... because you've seen, if you go, and they have, what you call future lives. all these, and it's, it's not true, but I mean, you got all these things going on at this, and different beings and at the same time anyway. So I don't know, people. And there are versions of you that you think, or your guides are, what do you think they are? It's only source anyway. I know the other versions of you. That's it. Past, present, future, higher dimensions, or what you want to call. But it's all part of this Maya. It's all part of the game. Source formed the soul to do this, and then soul's got all these, then it's got ego. Oh, I'm playing that, I'm playing this, I'm playing that. Oh, change costume, I'm playing this, I'm playing that, I'm playing that. You know what I mean? So whatever, it doesn't matter. But in the Maya, in the game, what will benefit humanity? Achieving Buddhahood. Because that frequency, that cohesive all unity thing will have a big impact on all around you and humanity. And more, you couldn't need it more right now. Couldn't be more useful to humanity, and even one transcend all suffering and be one with all that is at the moment will help a lot. I haven't got any better ideas. So this is my my aim, my goal, I'm not. You are it anyway, but I'm saying practice, way of being, living, yeah. Yes. No, because I mean, it's all part of your plan. Nothing happens that's not meant to. How you're going to go, you're going to go. I kind of know when that's going to happen. I did look when I did this session with her, and we went back and cleared that childhood stuff, which I didn't have a bloody clue was even there. Cleared that and started fixing and removing energy and restoring the aura. It changed the trajectory, remember? Because then if you change the childhood thing, you don't have it. You haven't got that energy, you're going to have a different life. You're going to have different frequency, different draw things to you. So we looked at that, and then we got to now kind of thing, and then, okay, now you project, see, okay, then you do the next 10 years, and then you see, oh, okay, what does it look like, feel like, and you could feel, and on that timeline, I could see and feel, wow, that's nice. Okay, so I could kind of see 10 years time, well, you see, everything, it's all probabilities, though, remember. You hit Buddhahood, well, that's that is relevant anyway, but you're still going to be in the body, you're still on earth, and your experience is very different. And it's, there's nothing, none of this nonsense matters to you, because it's all an illusion. So it's not like you don't want anything. You're not trying to do anything, and you don't want to achieve a higher timeline and a this and a that, because you know who you are. Nothing. You are all. You don't have any worries, hey, you're number one. There's only you, and you are going to play the game. I mean, you've got you overseeing you. What can go wrong? And you've planned it. You know what I mean? So you know that whatever the real you wants to happen, it's going to happen. You know that. And if you're not meant to go, you know you're not meant to go. So you can't, and the ego is the one that thinks you don't, you know what I mean? Yes, when you're in the ego, you can, like you say, program change. You have control over, like people are doing manifestations and things, absolutely positive thinking, da-da-da. Yes, they play together, that. You're tapping in, yeah, absolutely. But in that level of consciousness, there is no desire. There's nothing in the resistance, no desire. You're just in a state of being and a bliss. And as they say, it'll just happen. It'll be guided. If you stay you, right, you are source. You are in coherence with all that is. That frequency, it all will come to you. You don't have to do anything. It will come to you. Yeah, it's such an interesting, fascinating, actually. Well, so yeah, in that timeline that we were working on, I did see there's some time left, but this is not. It was not a desire of this ego anyway. In its awareness, it was never a desire to get. I always thought it was not a. People have this fear of dying. They think, oh, well, they want to live to 90. Oh my gosh, my grand, it's like an achievement. Wow, no thanks. And I have met consciously. There are many people, especially that haven't transcended the ego, that are in a denser energy. It's really suffer. It's not you don't want to be. If you are not in a state, it's not pleasant. And then the physical vessel stops working, and you've got pains and disease and illness and dementia and forget this and that, and you're running around with your walker, and you know what I mean? There's nothing. If you sit with these people and speak to them, it's not nice getting old. There's nothing graceful and nice, in that, that you're waiting to die. It's just a slow transition. But when you're awake, you don't need a slow transition, because haven't got to slowly, ease your way out of them. You're not like, oh my gosh, it's gonna, you're not the body and thing. So you don't need that. So let's just say there's no, 90s and any of that. No. I don't think there's any 80s, but anyway, yeah. But that's perfect. You know what I mean? Well, because, so let's see. I'm not worried. No, you don't have any worry. Everything's perfect. You don't have to worry about anything. Yeah, there's nothing to worry about. All is perfect, and you know this. You are free. You are liberated. You are source. You are it. You are self. You're not this body, this being anyway. And also, even the conscious, body being, carries on and does a thing, will be driven by you, self, anyway. Whatever plan you've, that the ego doesn't remember the plan and thing you've laid out, but the other side absolutely does. So it's happening, whether you like it or not. And even those that are on this journey, as you say, the higher self will guide you, absolutely. So even though you're going to follow, you're going to be guided, or the body will still act and do things, which is going to be guided, again, from the self. So all is win-win, you know what I mean? Especially now with the knowledge and knowing that, which I didn't know, well, kind of there, but you didn't have the science, that nothing is solid. You see? That makes healing a whole different ballgame when you realize there's no physical matter. It's so programmed into us that everything is physical, solid, physical. So then you think, oh, I got to, you know what I mean? No. If nothing is physical, you can change like the ETs do, shapeshift, move through walls, biolocate. The tree, you are all the same energy from the same source, eh? It's all source streaming. So then all you've got to do is, as you can connect with the tree consciously, right? You can do the same if your frequency. So if it's so much in your consciousness, you'll be able to move. There's nothing stopping your form, because your source, changing into a tree or into anything. There we are. Yeah, but only if you stay in that level of consciousness. Once you've hit that frequency, unified, that field, that toric there, and you're in that stream, whatever, absolutely it will. There's no resistance. But you stay tapped in, you stay in that peace, you stay in the flow, you stay in that transcendent state. Absolutely, automatically it will. But not in a normal level of existence. Because that energy is not moving always through you. You're not transcending, you know what I mean? So then it's got illness, it's got disease, it's got this, it's got that, all kinds of shit. It doesn't then. You've got to consciously, you know what I mean? But a person that's not in awakened consciousness, no. You're not streaming that energy, absolutely not. I mean, even when you're in this awakened sometimes and you get ego resistance, all the things, you get that's why you get pain, it blocks and all kinds of nonsense. You transcend them, all that bollocks. There isn't any of this, because the ego's out the way. So there isn't blocks, and there's not going to be this resistance, and there's, it's like a tug of war going on. Yeah. There we are. Hi, Joanna, how are you? I hope you're spreading positivity. All positive thoughts, positive manifestations, and at least whatever. So yeah, there we are, peeps. I don't have anybody. If you got any questions, fire away. Fire away. But it's something individual people will experience as well, you see. Depending on your beliefs, your consciousness, the level, your resistance, your path, your ego, you know, all the characters and things is playing and, you know, whatever. But it's fascinating. If you walk around, when you transcended, you don't even bother because you one with everything. But when you say tapped in, hi. Ah, thanks, darling. Yeah, all good. Always good. Always good. That's why I don't worry. You know, even with this going on, it's like if you can have physical things, you're not worried one bit because you know you're not. You know you are source, and you are pure energy. So now, that's. I mean, wow, that's it. Amazing. And all these cells are one. You are just one. There's one being, not like this and that. You know, and you communicate with them as you, because they are love. You know, each little cell is like important. Every little, you know. Yeah, it's amazing. I love it. I found this so amazing. This experience is so awesome. I love it. Maybe that's also why, you know, you don't want to go from 0 to 100, because then you would, see, the real you enjoys the experience of being, because, I mean, otherwise you wouldn't be playing not you, you know, because you know you anyway, so, you know, it's like your dream. It'd be like pretty much boring your dream would be if you were playing yourself in your dream all the time. The same thing over and over and over. It'd be like, nah, this is getting boring now. Anyway, so yep, I've been quiet, going within, doing healing. Okay, have a beautiful Christmas, hey? Lots of love to the family. Have a lovely Christmas, darling, and take some rest, please. Work is not everything. Be very careful. This is something this thing learned this lifetime massively from the overworking and hours, and I've got to finish and I've got to do this, and yeah, your health, your time, your sleep, your balance. Never let any money or work or thing perceived, I need to do this, work, this and that. You could be dead tomorrow. Trust me, that would be like, oh, what need, what bollocks. The world's not going to stop, you know, if your work stopped. This is a belief I had. Same with my job, you know, and you do this, but you leave, boop, they replace you like that. But you're irreplaceable while you're there. You see. So yeah, balance is so important. Okay, balance. Thank you, darling. You're a bliss. Now have a beautiful, beautiful holiday. Yeah, I didn't celebrate it too much. Gonna have that's it, main course, and there we are. Food. Once in and probably a bit, probably something to drink, maybe, most likely. You know, I don't normally drink at all, but there's no need to drink, and I'm not a big. But Christmas, you know, I might have a glass with my daughter. So once in the blue moon kind of thing, you know. Let's see. Taking care of the body at the moment. Ooh. As I say, there was a mount. If you see that as interesting, and if you realize that a lot of this energy was held in the intestines and stomach from a child. So that's what people don't understand, where illness and disease comes from. Because it's stuck there, and builds and builds and builds. The more you hang on to it, and it eventually then, think of the same thing as within, so without, right? There's no harmony. So there's disharmony. Same with the cells. There's no difference. People, we've got to stop separating, seeing everything is different. There's no harmony with them. They're not, they're out of disharmony. The energy is not, you know, in coherence. So it's going, that's why it forms these things, you know, it's going to form tumors or whatever else. So it was so interesting to see that and experience this, you know, and I'm physically having fun with. But there were many little warnings along the road about, you know, but I say they were always, even the doctors used to tell me, but I've got to work, you see. Got to provide. Being the provider, you know, and then it was the program that the egos were brought up in. You've got to work. Money doesn't go on trees. You've got to save. You've got to do this. You've got to, you know, whatever. That was it. Everything's about it. It was so interesting. Our entire focus was on the outside, externally. And then you wonder why. And now you realize, no, if you had gone in within, everything would have come to you. And achieved this, you just sit there. You could sit on the mountain, it would come to you, or you just manifest your food. Bing, I need food, right? Poof, there we are. There's my bread, right? You know, you create it. But no. So yeah, then you understand energy that you've hung on to, and you did not let it move through. You didn't resolve it. And every time it comes up, you're suppressed, like this. You see this tumor? I don't know if you can see it here. There. That's interesting. And where that energy came from. See? No energy, because we always thought the thoughts were yours, the emotions were yours. Instead of seeing them as lessons, they're just messengers. Anyway, but the programs we attached, and we attached to everything. Attached to boyfriends, attached, want food, desire is everywhere. Desire for food, chocolate, but that's a huge thing in humanity. Wow. Everything external. Six. Yeah. Anyway. Wow. Okay, people. Anybody questions before I go? I hope this was useful to anybody. I'll put it up on YouTube. But it's interesting. I'm trying to remember. I did see something else that came. Oh yes. I forgot. I was telling you what I saw going through this shift. What I've seen, right? As I said, but that's also I don't have anyone else is doing this. I can only tell you what I saw because willingly it was like this ego is going completely. This was a path I was on anyway, but then I got a bit tired to it, and I got smacked back on it again. There we are. Maybe it took a bit of a whack to put me back on it again. But obviously it was to achieve liberation in the body, right? So, as I said now, I was really get rid of this thing now. This all illusion, Maya, ego, mind, right? So as I said, I saw the cross on the forehead, then I saw this ego being, this being dissolved, or this in the light, this thing was just standing there, just the light was just pouring, purifying, like washing away this whatever, pure, this vessel, this whatever it was. And I've seen these things leaving and whatever else. And then what I saw was a door. It was like you're going, that people think you visualize heaven, right? Heaven on earth, right? So this massive light, and then there was this door. And this is where we're going through. You clean it, so what is, everything's metaphorical. So what it is, sacrificing ego, cleaning up, clarifying this vessel, moving all the shit out. And I channeled this for everybody about a while ago. In order to move into new earth, no, don't need to, darling. I'm not worried about it. The energy is taking it away by itself. A lot was moved out now. It's energy. It's energy. It'll go out by itself. It's shrunk before. It's fine. So what I saw, and I told you guys, and I saw this, it came to me, and I saw new earth when it manifested, all this nonsense. And I said, for us to move into what you call the new earth, everyone's visualized that frequency, that next dimension, right, where humanity is going. Some will leave in this vessel, but will be let's say, so-called being reincarnated back on that. They won't transition in consciously from one to the other now. So I saw that, and then I saw this, this door on the light, and it was going to that door, yeah. That everything has to be dropped in order for you to move through that door. You see? And then it was like, I remember this. So this is why you're going to drop all your shit, your drama, your fear, your worry, your past, your everything, like I said, in that. But I've forgotten, because normally I get heads up and channel messages about what's coming, right? Whether it's good or bad, a year in advance. And then by the time it comes there, then you're completely forgotten. You're forgotten, and then you go, oh, wow, yes, now I know what's happening. So, yeah, it was everything. You've got to let go of the old self. Literally, this being cannot go with you. This ego, this identity that you have in this dimension, this thing has to go. I'm good, thanks, darling. I'm good. So this is what it was. And if you think about it, this is what's going. Your cache is being cleared, your past lives, your belief, your programming, your negativity, your everything. The old you has to go. Like you see Leo's going. And then there's this door, beautiful door, you move through it, and that's it. You're moving in, and you're moving into another dimension. That's the portal, the shift. So this is why so much is being removed. And this came to me, and I told everybody, it's on my YouTube channel even, but then I forgot it. It's only when you sort of get to the end, then you're like, now I kind of see what's happening. And as I say, and that these things are coming. But then also, I have willingly wanted, absolutely get the Buddhahood now, in the body. So I have absolutely sacrificed that ego. I have if it comes, if it goes, whatever, It doesn't matter. That's the sad. Let it come, let it go. Before I was like, no, and I was trying to control my, you've got to stake in it, and planning and desire. People know, if you step to that level, there's no desire. This is the weird part. You have no desire. For nothing. You could just sit in a rock all day. There's no external desire. So this is why a lot of people don't do it. Because it's like, nah. It's not that people don't. It's not you realize when you come to that, ego's like got its finger in attachments, because you don't want to let go of that, and don't this, and you don't realize how attached you are to the world, to things, to people, to life, cars, this game, it's a dream you're playing in. But if you think about it, what you're saying then to your real self is, no, I'd rather stay in the dream. You're sacrificing the real you snubbing yourself for the dream, which is really what you're doing, actually. Anyway, bloody interesting. How are you, Rachel? I'm very good. So there we are. I'll share that with you. Such a fascinating experience. Wow, I'm loving it. So the more you can spend in meditation and out of the mind, the faster you will go. Because if you're not sure what I'm talking about, sit in meditation and focus on source. Like your mind is like, that's it. You sit, and your thoughts and your concentration is like, say you're focusing on a pinhead with your eyes open, right? Source, and that's it. And you just like, whatever the ego is going to try, bugger off. And no matter what, you just get back there and sit there. Then you get into that, you'll know the energy anyway. You just sit there and you just allow, surrender, and just trust. And it will do it for you. The energy will just, the more you can stay in that state, out of the mind completely. So at least 2 meditations or 1 hour, 2 a day, 2 hours. The more it will move, the more, work can be done. The faster it can dissolve and clear and purify the vessel, the mind, the construct. No. And I did this before, but then the excitement and not knowing this, and hadn't done the clearing, you've seen the real thing, but you didn't stay in it long enough to solidify it. So then the ego slips you back, you slide back again. And now I have that knowledge and awareness. It's like, nope. So I'm not going to be too active. I'll see how it goes. So, because most of it is going in here. The focus, the concentration, the energy must be directed inwards, not outwards now. You see? As much. It's a funny one, because I do know there's no helping me, because then that's the same. I'm seeing separation. I know me, you is the same. We're all one, right? So it's like, I know there is no other. as well. So it's interesting. Yeah. Interesting. So if you want to try and get your mind used to it, see everybody as cells in your body. Everybody who you believe is in the outside this world, they're just part of, they all they make up millions of cells that are in your body. There we are. It's the same sort of concept. All right, beautiful people. I'm tired. As I've been telling you, I've been waking up and I've had some stomach issues and pain and all kinds of other things going on there. But it's going. Not worried, we're all going anyway. Doof, gone. A massive amount is already gone. But anyway, we'll go and see whatever the story is. For me, you know, here we are. Sorry? No. Some parts are because you're riding through it, because then you're not sure. It's because you haven't got. Then you just sit and be patient. Then you sit and ask them before you go to sleep. Please show me very clearly what it is you're trying to. Sometimes it'll take a few weeks for you to see. Oh shit! Okay, this is what I've got to clear. This is what it's trying to show me. This is what I should be doing, or need to do, or whatever. It doesn't always come straight away. Ask. We forget. Ask to be shown very clearly what it is. Ask for help. We always forget to ask for help. You've created everything to help you. All the people is a mirror. Everybody is reflecting to you. Okay. But this is what I see. Because I didn't know there was stuff in my childhood. I wasn't aware. With other things, yes, because you're aware you've got, so you're like, okay, that's interesting. Okay, that's self-worth. That I've got low self-worth. They're reflecting to me. Oh, okay, they're reflecting this. They're reflecting attachment. They're reflecting. You can kind of pick out once you start doing it and you see where your attachments or your desires or wherever problems wherever, you can spot them. Then you know that person's reflecting that person's reflecting an older version of you. But I didn't realize I had childhood nasties in there. So I had people in my experience that were popping up all over. Like recently I had some nasty childhood stuff, and I didn't dawn on me. My parents both experienced some really nasty childhood stuff. Wow. Very so I didn't dawn on me. Everything was there. Like the signs were all around me. Although I experienced some in my life as well. But conscious when I was older. Yeah. Wow. Completely blocked it out. I didn't know it was there. I didn't know there was stuff there. Interesting. Well, anyway. So sometimes it's not that clear to you. The conscious, the ego. Ask. Ask for help. Ask for clearing. Ask for protection. Ask for love. Ask for this. Ask for to be shown. Ask. You know what I mean? And sit and be patient. Surrender. Just surrender. Surrender, trying to control everything anyway. And do it. And we just give up and just say, oh, yeah. There we are. Okay. All right. Have a good day, morning, evening, wherever you are. Probably Christmas. I don't know if I'll be on before Christmas. I'm not sure. Maybe. Yeah, Christmas is Sunday. I might do. I don't know. I've got tomorrow, the next day, who knows? I don't know. Let's see. As I say, let's see also what happens with this. I'm trying to get this, as I say, the stomach heal as much as possible. Or, the inflammation down and stuff. It's doing very well. And Christmas is coming, so I'd like to try and eat. I've been very, very gentle food, very light. I'm eating once a day, and it's like vegetables and juice. That's it. So yeah, let's see. Christmas Day, I'd like to have a meal. I'm not going to do anything I shouldn't eat. Anyway, but still, yeah. Got to be careful. So let's see I'm just going to see how it goes. So as I say, also quiet because I want to put a lot of attention, focus, energy, not participating in the Maya, but it help. All right. You too. Thank you. Exactly. But this is it. But thing is, you don't let things go if you're not aware they're even in you. Remember, you've had, like me, 58 years in the game, right? Years in this game. There's no such thing as time anyway. But so-called 58 years you've been playing this game. There's stuff in there, man. Wow. That you've hung on to, that story, this emotion, that upset. I mean, energy, it's just energy. You didn't let go. You didn't process. You didn't move. You don't even remember half the nonsense. When it comes out, you're like, oh, wow. What? You're welcome. You're very welcome. All right, lovely people. Love you lots. And if I don't see you before Christmas, I hope it is a really beautiful time, that you're happy, you have peace, you find happiness and peace. Then if you're struggling, as I say, withdraw your attention and your thing, especially from the outside. Put all your focus, when you're trying to like tap into something, if you're on this journey, psychically or remote view, anything, pretend you're doing it with your heart. You're tapping in, you go in, literally go in. Put your focus, your attention, your energy into the inside of the body. Heart, okay. Like sit in the heart. So you're looking in the heart and you're sitting in the heart, focus. So you're pulling your energy into the body, withdrawing it from the Maya. So try and withdraw your energy and your concentration, your everything from the outside world. You'll see a big difference. Because it is an illusion. This is the illusion. It will just drain your energy. See, you want to progress, you need to pull in completely. Your attention, your focus, your energy into you. The body, not outside. All right, lovely people. Good night. Bye.